Offshore and Off the Grid. Hoeflation Part 2. So what? You found a 304 that you like. You can't make a 304 a housewife. Women are objects of beauty, possessed by an insatiable desire for attention. Since the advent of Instagram and Tinder in 2011, followed by Snapchat and TikTok, women have found a never-ending source of attention and gratification in the form of likes. The more provocative and outrageous their behavior, the more gratification they got. Simultaneously, feminism in academic circles has reduced the generation to a bunch of simps. Combine these two historical events, and you have a society of women in competition with each other for likes, and they have devised any number of forms of seduction to generate those likes. The next step was to monetize their inflated perspective of their value. Here comes OnlyFans. This is the platform that has enabled a small percentage of women to earn a lot of money being provocative online. However, for the majority of girls that take off their clothes for dollars on the internet, their earnings are less than $200 a month. But what's a girl to do? 304 is the only logical conclusion. So they do their makeup and fix their hair and get dressed up in their best Kardashian-like outfit and hit the streets. Many have found they could monetize dating experiences by working full-time on Tinder and Bumble. So now we have an army of 4s and 5s who think they are 9s and 10s. Many of these young girls, either inadvertently or intentionally, wind up pregnant. Not just once or twice, but for many 24-year-olds 3 times, so they have 3 children with ADD. How are they going to support these kids? They put on some lipstick and they're choosing shoes, and they start swiping. They're on the hunt for the perfect simp. The perfect target is somebody twice our age with a relative degree of success who is so self-confident he thinks he can save her. Enter Captain Save, a 304. She has become so adept at her game, but she is able to convince the captain to let her and her children with ADD move into his house. Her mother or grandmother started visiting frequently to babysit the children with ADD so that the Cardi can entertain her new benefactor. Now that she's in a big house with a full refrigerator, her girlfriends, who are still active 304s, come over to visit her for coffee. Now what do you think these girls talk about? They're not rocket scientists. The next pool party, or the schedule for the next bachelor party, when the girls can all get together and knock off a group of chads. Monetize their bikinis, as it were. It's not long before the 304 terrorist organization convinced the newly installed Kardashian that she could slip away for a girls' weekend or an afternoon to entertain Chad or Tyrone for money. So don't worry if your mother is not available to babysit. Your simp benefactor will gladly watch your kids. And that's exactly what she does. Because once a 304, always a 304. None of this would be possible if the simp boyfriend didn't behave in a way that she has conditioned him to. He thinks he's got a hot young trophy. She knows she's got a walking ATM. Psychologically, after a woman has had 5 partners, it's impossible for her to bond with one man. Many of these 304s knock off 5 in one day, if they're lucky. So now, what happens in Costa Rica? The 304 has control of the situation we know as limerence. Limerence is the state of being infatuated or obsessed with another person, typically experienced involuntarily and characterized by a strong desire for reciprocation of one's feelings, but not primarily for a sexual relationship. Hello, simp. The 304 will alternatively display fits of irrational behavior to distance herself from the ATM for periods of a week or 2 weeks at a time, only to apologize when she needs cooperation, and then there's an act of contrition that she offers, often a lesbian show or a 3-way with one of her 304 cohorts. This only needs to go on for a period of 2 years in Costa Rica. And that's when the 304 has legal rights. She can now legally demonstrate the standard to which she has been living thanks to the simp. Don't be that guy. This is a tactic the 304s employ all the time. Chances are they learned it from their mothers. By the time the ATM realizes what happened, it's too late. Some try to pay off the 304 to make her go away. For her, that's a win. She has monetized her situationship. She was working all the time. Other simp ATMs become outraged at the realization of what has happened, and they declare that they will fight tooth and nail, and now they hire lawyers. They spend more money and more time. At the end of the demoralizing battle, the 304 wins anyway. Yes, the irony of the story is that the simp ATM had left his terrorist, politically obnoxious wife to come to the land where women fall out of the trees, and then winds up in exactly the same position. The only difference is that it is now 20 years later. Moral of the story: never wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and the pig likes it. Offshore and off the grid. Let's do this.